Good morning, Year 5. How are you guys? I hope you're all doing great. So today we're going to continue talking about our space and the planets of our solar system. Yesterday we had a hint about two of the main objects or two of the main bodies found in our space, which are the sun and the moon. Today we're going to talk about our home, planet Earth. We are going to learn about its movement and how does this affects our daily life. Before this, we're going to correct your homework from last Thursday, pages 42 and 43. Then we're going to continue talking about our lesson, and then we will have a small classwork, page 55, followed by a small homework, page 54, and then there is a small video and a very nice video that shows the movement of Earth and will let you learn more about this feature. Now let's start together. So this is your homework, pages 42 and 43. First, page 42, worksheet number 27. It says Nadif is growing some plants from seeds. So he has a really weird name, but it's okay. He takes a seed tray and fills it with damp soil. He plants some seeds. Then he puts a transparent lid over the top. Nadif checks his seeds each day. He notices that drops of water appear on the inside of the lid. Nadif checks his seeds each day. He notices that drops of water appear on the inside of the lid. So they repeated those words twice, so it's okay. It's just like an assurance for the information that he is covering his seed tray with transparent lid, and he notices there is water drops forming inside the transparent lid. What is the scientific name for the process where water vapor changes into water? This is actually related to year 4. You took the changes of matter in year 4, and we know that when we heat the solid, it changes into liquid, and this is called melting. And then when we continue heating it, it's going to change into gas, and this is called evaporation. And then we are going to get back from the water vapor or from the gas to the liquid. This is called, I think you also took it in the first trimester, so this is supposed to be very easy for you. If you guessed condensation, then you were right, guys. Very good. Next is page 43, the rest of your homework. Question B. First, the small seedling uses food in the seed to help it grow. As it grows, the food in the seed is used up. Then the young plant makes new food for growth. In what part of the plant is new food made for growth? I think it's very easy, and we know that what is the factory of the plant which makes photosynthesis? Yes, the leaves. Next is, why is it important for the young plant that the lid of the seed tray is transparent? The young plant, guys, is the seed after germination. It's the seedling after the formation of some leaves. And it's very important for the lid that covers the seed tray to be transparent in order to do what? The leaves need what to get through it in order to start making photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means light or production by light. So yes, so that sunlight can reach the new plant, of course. The next question is the root of the young plant anchors it into the soil. So this is one of the main jobs of the roots. Give one other way the root helps the young plant grow. I think it's very obvious and it's very easy that it acts like what? It absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. So now guys, let's continue talking about our lesson. So we're going to learn about our home planet, Earth, and we mainly are going to learn about the way it moves and how it does this affect our daily life. So the Earth, as you can see guys, is roughly spherical in shape. It's pretty much a sphere or a ball, and the axis is an imaginary line through the center of the Earth from the North Pole to the South Pole. So this guys is called the axis. You can imagine that those two lines is going through the Earth itself, like a piece of stick that we inserted from the South Pole and it came out from the North Pole. So this is called the axis. It's an imaginary line, which means that it's not real. If you traveled into space and you looked at the Earth from the outer space, you will never see this line because it's imaginary. The scientist drew this line in order to explain or translate the movement of the Earth around itself. So this is called the axis, and it's not a real line, it's a drawn line, it's an imaginary line, and it passes through the center of the Earth from the North Pole reaching the South. Now this is the Earth rotation, as you can see. The Earth rotates around its axis. As I told you guys, there is an imaginary line that goes through the Earth itself from the north to the south, and the Earth moves or rotates around it, or we can safely say that it rotates around itself, of course. It takes about 24 hours to make a full rotation around itself. So this means that the Earth takes one day in order to make a complete rotation around itself, starting from a point and reaching the same point after 24 hours. This what causes the day and night. If you ever imagined if actually the sun is the thing that moves from the east to the west, you are wrong. What really moves is the Earth, and in order for the sun to appear rising from the east and setting in the west, the Earth itself has to rotate from west to east. So the sun appears to rise from the east to west, but actually it is the Earth rotating around itself from the west to the east. And this what causes day and night. So the part of the Earth's surface facing the sun, this lightened part which is facing the sun, is where day is in the Earth, while the part that is facing the shade, which is facing away from this dark side from the Earth, is actually night. Now we talked about Earth rotation. I want you to pay attention to the vocabulary I'm using. That was Earth rotation. Now let's learn about Earth revolution. The Earth's revolution is actually the Earth making a complete trip around the sun. So this means that the Earth do two moves. first around itself or around its axis, and that's what causes day and night. It happens every 24 hours, and another trip around the sun. It takes it 1 year, 365, and there is 0.25 days around the sun. So the Earth makes this trip in 1 year. The Earth make a complete revolution or completes a single trip around the sun every 365 days. That what causes the 4 seasons. And actually what really causes the 4 seasons is the tilting of the axis. The axis of the Earth is not straight line. It is a little bit tilted, as you can see. It's not a straight line cutting Earth into two halves. It is a little bit tilted, and this what causes it to make some of the areas of the Earth closer to the sun, and other areas are away from the sun. And then when it reaches the other side of the sun, you will find that the bottom part will come closer to the sun, and the upper part will get away from the sun. And this what causes the 4 seasons, because at some point some places will be closer to the sun, so this will cause summer, and the other parts will be away from the sun, and this will cause winter. So the hemisphere with the axis is tilted towards the Earth is summer, while the hemisphere where the axis is tilted away from the sun, like in this particular spot, this is winter. So now let's make just like a little differentiation. Please pay attention. If the Earth is rotating around its axis, it's called rotation. But if it's revoluting around the sun, it's called revolution. So as I told you guys, the sun appears to be moving from the east to the west, but actually what happens is the Earth is the one rotating from the west to the east. So now let's make a little trivia, guys. The Earth travels around the sun. Very good. The second question. The moon travels around the Earth. Very good. The Earth shape is roughly spherical. Very good. The axis is an imaginary line passing through the center of the Earth. Very good. The Earth spins dash hours that causes day and night every 24 hours. The moon's shape is roughly spherical too. The moon goes around the Earth every 28 days. We only see part of the moon that is lit by the sun. Very good. The moon orbits the Earth, so it is called a natural satellite. Very good, guys. Now let's make the small classwork, worksheet number 2, page 55. Night here and day there. Number 1, complete the following sentences from the words in the box below. You have three words in the box: daytime, 24 hours, and nighttime. Earth completes one rotation around its axis every 24 hours. When the part of the Earth where you live faces the sun, it is, so it's the lit part, daytime. When it is daytime where you live, people on the other side of the world have nighttime. Now question number 2, early one night, Gus, who lives in London, so let's imagine that we're talking about this. So London will be right there. Okay. So Gus lives in London, was allowed to phone his uncle who lives in Canada. Okay. Gus was very surprised to hear that his uncle was just going to have lunch. Now let's make just give a give I will give you a fun fact. It appears here that this part is the part where it's daytime, and this part it's the part where it's nighttime. This is the east, guys, and this is the west. This is Africa, this is Egypt. So this is the east and this is the west. Can you imagine that if this was Sunday, this is still Saturday? If this part again, if this part of the earth, if this those countries in this part of the earth is on Sunday, the other part, the western part, will be still in Saturday. Sunday did not reach them because the sun did not rise at this part yet. So that's why there is differences in times. So let's read the question. Early one night, Gus, who lives in London, was allowed, so he phoned his uncle at night. Was allowed to phone his uncle who lives in Canada. Gus was very surprised to hear that his uncle was just going to have lunch, so it's still daytime at his uncle's country. What is the explanation for the difference in time? I think you've got it. I think it's very easy, and it's related to, as I told you guys, the eastern part of the of the earth, and the southern and the western part of the earth. So as London is a little bit to the east from Canada, so the sun rises at London before it does in Canada. Now below is a picture of the earth as it appears from space. Draw an arrow on the picture to show from which direction is the sun shining on the earth. So I think it's very obvious which part of the earth is shiny, this part. So this means that the sun should face this direction. Color the part that has daytime yellow. So I'm going to color it now. Yeah. So this is supposed to be the part. Whoa. Just moved a little bit. Was extreme. So it should be like this. I'm very sorry for the mess I made, but it should look much better than this. So this is your homework page. Now let's introduce you to your worksheet number 1. It's a very, very, very easy page. You will not have any trouble doing it. It's just a true or false. You have 5 sentences about what we just learned, and you have to state whether those statements are true or false, and then you have to correct the false statements. And I think it's very simple and very easy. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson as much as I did researching it. Also, it was very fun learning about space and about earth and about movement of the earth and everything. I'm going to leave you now with a little video, and I will be seeing you next time, inshallah. I hope you get extra ready for your quiz, and I am pretty sure you're going to do very well in your quiz. Stay safe, guys. I miss you so much and I love you so much. See you soon, inshallah, and bye bye.
You've seen the sunset, right? And if you get up early enough, maybe you've seen it rise too. But have you ever wondered, if the sun rises every day and sets every night, where does it go when we can't see it? Well, nowhere. It's actually us that goes somewhere, because we're on the Earth and our planet is always turning or spinning on its axis. Imagine a line passing through the center of the Earth that goes both through the North Pole and the South Pole. We call that invisible line the axis. Earth spins around on this axis like a top. This spinning movement is called the Earth's rotation, and the Earth's rotation is what gives us day and night, every day, all year. If you're on the side of the Earth that's facing away from the sun as the Earth is spinning, it's night. If you're on the side facing the sun, it's, you guessed it, day. Now, hold on tight, because the Earth is actually moving in more ways than one. At the same time that the Earth spins on its axis, it also orbits or revolves around the sun. This movement is called its revolution. One full orbit all the way around the sun is one revolution, and the Earth takes 365 days, or 1 year, to complete a revolution. So have you got all of this so far? The Earth is rotating on its axis, creating day and night, and at the same time, it's revolving all the way around the sun. Now here's the thing. As the Earth is both rotating and revolving, it's not sitting straight up and down. Its axis is actually tilted, just a little. It's not all that much, but this tilt causes one part of the Earth to lean towards the sun, while another part of it is leaning away. This means that different parts of our planet's surface gets different amounts of sunlight and heat. So, why am I telling you all of this? Well, as the Earth travels around the sun, it creates a pattern throughout the year. This pattern happens over and over again, and I'm sure you've noticed it. At certain times of the year, you see the northern hemisphere leans towards the sun, and the southern hemisphere leans away. And at other times, the southern hemisphere leans towards the sun, and the northern hemisphere leans away. That pattern, my friend, is what makes seasons. When the part of the world that you're living in is leaning towards the sun, it's warm and the days are long. Summer. When you're on the part that's leaning away from the sun, it's cold and the days are short. Winter. In between, it's spring or autumn. If the Earth weren't tilted, we would have the same season all year long. So, revolution, rotation, orbit. Is your head spinning? Let's do a demonstration to shed a little light on these concepts. Okay, you're gonna need a globe and a table lamp without a shade, plus a table to put them both on. Put the lamp in the center of the table and turn it on. Put the globe on one side of the table. Now hit the lights. The globe is Earth. Makes sense, right? The lamp at the center of the table is the sun at the center of the solar system. Now slowly spin the globe. As the Earth rotates, the sun lights up one side of the planet better than the other. It's day where the light is shining more brightly on the globe and night where it's not. Now let's see what the Earth's revolution around the sun looks like. Give the globe a few spins with one hand while slowly pushing the globe in a circle around the sun, or the lamp with your other hand. So, do you notice how the Earth keeps rotating as it revolves around the sun? If this were the real sun and Earth, by the time you get back to where you started, the globe would have completed 365 rotations or days. And that's another year gone by. So, what does all this show us? It shows that what looks to us to be the motion of the sun in the sky is really caused by the motion of the Earth. So now you know, when you look up and see the sun setting or rising, it's not going around us. It's sitting pretty much at the center of the solar system, while we and the 7 other planets go around it. That sun, always gotta be the center of attention.